So, guys, here we are again. And interesting thing, there is still a pandemic going on.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Oh, yeah, yo. We have to do one about that one. That would be interesting. I probably will be like, okay, maybe some people will think that we are crazy. Maybe some people will think that we are completely right. Because nowadays there are two parties, the crazy and the crazy. So either you are in the crazy party or you are in the crazy party. So
yes.
there is no other chance because each party sees the other one as completely crazy.
Yep, that's it.
So basically, we are crazy.
We're all mad. We're all crazy.
Oh, mad. Okay, so remember the time that we were doing this kind of stuff over Google Hangout, and we were like the weird ones because we were doing it online. So we were the crazy now at that time. Now, actually, we are kind of normal. So you see how crazy and normal things change. I'm so philosophical today. So welcome.
Let's get on with it.
Welcome again to another fantastic talk between Sophie, Peter, and of course myself, that I have sometimes some things to say. So today we are going to talk about how to save money. And I think that there will be a lot of opportunities in the next weeks to save money because you probably will not get out of home. So you don't go and buy things, don't travel, don't. So it's a kind of redundant, this webinar today. It will be a little bit strict, but let's think broader. Let's think towards the future and think, okay, let's think normal, whatever that will be. So let's think how we can save money. And as always, we will start with Sophie. Give us one fantastic advice how we can save money.
Yes, of course. Well, in my part of Sweden, where I live, we are expecting 50 centimeters of snow tomorrow. So my advice will follow that.
That's a good advice for Portugal. We expect 0.
Yeah. But my advice is about that when you are at home, if you organize your things, your stuff, your belongings, everything you have in your home in a way so you know what you have, you will not go out and do unnecessary shopping. I've seen that myself so many times when things are not organized. Maybe you have a pair of Wellington boots or you have 5 umbrellas, but you can't find them and you buy one more. These things happen all the time, over and over and over again. And it's of course it's not good for your wallet. You're spending your money or your credit card. Your bank account will sink and you will have double the amount of stuff to store at home. And it makes it even more messier for you. So my recommendation is to go through everything that you have and you know that you have what you have in your collection and organize them in a way so you can find things easily. I have a friend who moved, she had her home in Sweden and then she moved to a few different places and stayed for like half a year or 1 year. And every time she was away, she of course had to buy a few more things because she couldn't bring all her stuff there. But she then, when she arrived back at home and suddenly she got a bit more settled down, she was very disorganized and she still doesn't really know where she has what. So I think like she has probably a fortune in quite a few things that are worth a lot of money. And also like, maybe you can actually borrow things instead of storing them. So get a bit organized. There are lots of books and things to get organized. And, one side effect might be that you might save some money.
Very good, very good. That reminds me a lot of my father that was accumulating a lot of stuff. Normally, old people tend to, but by the way, we are the 3 of us getting old. So maybe we will start accumulating. So Peter, you. give us your.
Okay, we might end up having some overlaps out of all of these, but mine. Well, I saw a brilliant cartoon a few years ago. It was showing a sale that said, "Get 100% off when you don't buy anything." And so one way to save money is not to even spend it, because often we're being mind controlled and manipulated to make us want stuff that we don't really need, and things that if we do get them, we think will make us happy, and they might for a short time, and then it just that disappears. I remember my boss in Australia had bought a brand new car. And 6 months later, I also bought a brand new car. I think it's the only time in my life, twice in my life, I bought a brand new car. But he said to me after 6 months, he said, "Is it just the car yet?" In other words, has the excitement gone? And of course it has. It's just the car. But we often buy things that I want to have the latest of this, or, whatever. And we don't necessarily need it, or a thing that an object, or a kitchen appliance, or whatever, or a fitness machine. We see those ads, get this amazing machine. And, I always laugh when they show you how easily it stores under the bed, because that's where it'll end up. So yeah, one of the best ways to save money is not to spend it when you don't really need to.
Yeah, because actually there was a friend of mine that says that money is for the ones that save it, not for the ones that spend it. So it's a kind of good. I will talk about money thieves. Okay, money thieves. What are money thieves? They are the things that we don't understand, that are slowly making us poor. So you gave an example that is cars. Okay, cars. So you were talking about buying cars. Okay, a car is a huge money thief, because most people only consider as cost the gas that they put inside the car. They never consider as cost all the rest. So when they have to go to the repair shop, I was unlucky because I had to go to the repair shop after 100,000 kilometers. I had to change tires. Unlucky me. But basically, we spend each kilometer that tire, each kilometer we spend those parts of the car, and it is a huge money thief, because the calculation is that the gas that we put in the car, no matter the price, is around 30% of the total cost per kilometer of the car.
Yes.
So if instead of a gas indicator we would have in the car, we would have a cost per kilometer, people would have heart attacks, because they would understand that somebody that lives in a city and goes every single day by car to the center with the city, considering all costs, depending on the cities, of course, the costs can reach hundreds of euros per month, but easily, even in a not very expensive city, even though people think that it's very expensive over here because of the wages. But like in Lisbon, people don't realize that if they go every single day to downtown Lisbon, they will spend at least 300 euros per month in all related costs, at least. If the car is a small car, not very expensive. And think about this, the average wage in Portugal is around 1,000 to 1,200 euros. So it is a big chunk.
A third to a quarter. Yeah.
But people will do the accounting only of the gas. Okay?
Yes.
So every time there is like a 10 cents increase of the gas, oh my God, this is being crazy. But basically these money thieves, and I will talk a little bit more about other money thieves later.
I'm so glad you raised that one, because running my own business, I think about cost of mileage. So here in the UK, it's around about 50 pence a mile, which would be like 50 cents a kilometre, around about. So that means if you drive 200 kilometres, it's €100. Just
not
broadly.
including tolls if you have tolls.
Adding that on, exactly. So you add all of that up, and then you start to look and say, right, it's going to cost me this much money to go there and back, and then you compare it to a train fare or
an airplane fare, even,
or an airplane fare, or not going at all. And one of the great things for me for the last 2 years is my mileage is tiny compared to what it used to be.
Peter, I don't resist. I will tell you a small story. Some years ago, a company hired me to do, I think, a workshop or something like that. And they said that they would pay the cost of going. Okay, no problem. So I said, so can I go by plane? No. We pay by kilometer.
Which is more money, I bet.
Yes. So I got the money and I went by plane and I saved money.
I love that. That's so funny.
And it is a company. You see, they had the opportunity to spend half.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, Sophie, please. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit complex with the car, but I'm quite often saving money by thinking, oh, today I didn't drive. And I'm sort of feeling a bit, okay, that's good. Well, this is quite a boring advice, but I think it's...
coming from Sweden, we are used to.
Oh, thanks for that. But like, if you have an income every month, the day after your income is in your bank account, make an automatic direct debit to a fund robot, or like a fund account. And I'm sure it works differently in different parts of the world, but take out a small amount that you think is reasonable to save and put it into a fund, and make it sort of a fund which you that have shares and stocks and investments that you believe in, and make it a sustainable investment for the future. And then calculate that, what will this money be worth in 10 years if it's an 8%, if you earn 8% every year, and then the effect on that, how much will that be? And it can be quite interesting to see how much it is. You can say maybe from £10 or €10 up to a few hundred, depending on how much you think you can spare every month. And it's a quite interesting effect. I don't know what it's called in English. Maybe you can help me. Pardon?
Capitalization.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see. And it can inspire you to do it. And if you don't want to just put the money into a normal fund, you can ask like a robot with artificial intelligence that sort of will pick funds for you that are sort of serving your purpose. So anyway, that's my second advice. I think it's a good way to sort of prepare your account to increase in a way which is passive but also active.
Good.
I like that.
Not boring at all.
No, well, in a way it is, but that's what's so great about it, because it's boring and simple, and it's not exciting and glamorous, but it's like what they say about.
And we can even be lazy because we can leave the robot to do the work.
Yeah. It's that investment thing they say, time in the market, not timing the market. Because it's the gradual, slow build that's not exciting. Whereas, you jump in and invest in this because it's going up, and you're all over the place. So it's that boring side that actually works. Anyway, so on to my second one. Avoid false economy, which means, somebody said to me the other day, buy cheap, buy twice. You think, well, it's cheaper, so I'll buy that, but it ends up costing you more. We're just having some renovations done on our house at the moment, and we shopped around, talked to different builders, and a couple of them were cheaper. And we almost went with those cheaper ones, but then we later realized that that wasn't a good idea because we would have so many problems. So we've gone with a builder who costs a bit more, but the quality of the way he works is so much better. So it's going to be worth going that way. One of the things that people advise on buying clothes, they talk about cost per wear, which is a great concept because you buy a cheap item of clothing that you might wear just a couple of times. And if it costs, you know, I don't know, if we're talking whatever currency, 100 in that currency, but you wear it twice, it's 50 pounds or euro, whatever, per wear. But if you buy a really good quality classic item of clothing, something that will last, something will still look good for a long time, the cost per wear is going to be tiny. So that's always a good thing to keep in mind. And the other thing is with technology, I've tended to try and, when I have to upgrade my computer or my phone, I try and future-proof it so that it lasts longer, so get much more memory, much more power than I need today, because then instead of updating it, say, every 3 years, I can update it every 6 years. Somebody once said that your most environmentally friendly phone is the one you have, because every time you buy a new phone and you throw the old one away, there's all of the costs of the materials, the impact on the environment. It's false economy. So mine is avoid false economy.
Well, Peter, you actually were talking about one of the other money thieves that I think it's a very, very important now, that is clothing. It is actually, it's a global problem. It is a huge problem. And I cannot resist in making a little bit of irony, is that nowadays we see a lot of people that are committed to environmental causes and are the ones that are inside fast fashion shops every single day.
Yeah.
And that is one of the huge causes of environmental problems in all areas, because it starts when they start making the colors, and when they collect, they don't collect, basically they create the synthetical fibers that, by the way, they come from oil.
Okay? Yeah. So, and if you're growing cotton, it comes from lots of water.
Yes. Actually, see the Aral Sea in this former Soviet Union area. So what happened with the Aral Sea? It was a little bit too much cotton. So basically, it has this environmental footprint that is awful.
Yes.
And there is another thing, is that it was like you were saying, people are buying, and I see even worse is not that if you go to some closets, you will see clothes that were never worn and they will never be.
Yes.
For me, this is
that's where you get 100% off if you don't buy it.
Yeah. But can you imagine, you buy something but you don't wear it ever?
Yeah.
Because when you think, oh, I never wear this, but it's out of fashion.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So this is something that is terrible, and it's, for me, it's almost like throwing out food. Okay. Because basically the footprint is more or less the same.
Yeah. Is that your second, or are you just building on what I've talked about?
This is my second. My second.
Right.
Because I said that I was going to talk about some what I call money thieves.
Yes.
And clothes nowadays are a huge money thief. And if you have teenagers at home, you will see, especially, sorry to say this, Sophie, but especially girls, you will see that nowadays fast fashion stores are theme parks. Okay.
Yeah.
People go there for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Not for their needs of clothing. Because it's fun. To pick up.
Like also imagine all the, well, you mentioned it before, like the water and the chemicals that's needed to create all these clothes. A friend of mine, she used to work for one of the biggest Swedish retailers, and she stopped working there because she thought it was awful with all the chemicals. It makes people sick, and both in the production, logistical. Everything that's done before, and then when you get it and wears it, and it's not healthy. So yeah,
in several countries you have rainbow rivers because of the clothes industry, and it's not because they are very inclusive. Okay, Sophie, your last one.
Oh yeah, this is also the theme of avoiding things, but the other day we have a few of the Moomin mugs at home, and I don't know if I can show them. Is it possible to show them here?
Blurry. If you put it up close, put it up close and hold it still.
Now,
yep, that's
thing
it.
Is holding still a little bit mugs. Okay, they're funny mugs.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we have a few of these at home, and it turns out that they are worth quite a lot of money now because they are in the old collection. They are like 30 years old. And I was like, this is very interesting. Maybe I should collect a few more. So I started to screen the internet and auctions and things. Oh, can I find some more Moomin mugs? Moomin. And I was like, maybe I should bid them some auction, or maybe I should not, or maybe do we need these mugs or not? I don't know. And I could easily spend like £500 on Moomin mugs.
And
I think like one way of saving money is to avoid this kind of exciting things to collect, and also be aware
a kind of gambling.
Yeah, it is. But like to make a bargain, you get really excited, and to collect these kind of things. Like I know people who have like 200 of these mugs, and of course they're amazing, and I'm sure they makes them really happy. But if you can avoid it, don't collect too many different items. And also another thing, I have a friend who collected marathons. She was a runner, so she was like trying to experience as many marathons as possible all around the world. And it's also, it's amazing. She felt really effective. She felt like a real, well exercised person, and she got so much from it. But at the same time, she was ruining her own budgets, because it's quite expensive to travel around the world to run marathons everywhere. And she realized that after a while, and she sort of stepped down a few steps and maybe just ran one marathon a year instead of 4. So, and she was also like a collector, and she made it to her. The one of the reasons she did it was to look good at her CV, and that was her driver. It was actually not something inside her. It was something, she wanted to be sort of noticed from the outside. So I don't think it was very healthy, and she stopped doing it after a while, but it was quite expensive during the years she did it.
And so, Peter, your last.
People talk about leading edge, the very latest of things. I would say stay off the bleeding edge, because that's where you get cut. The bleeding edge is like being the first to do things, which is all very exciting, but you are paying a heavy price for that. We're looking to buy a new television. Ours is 11 years old, and it's time to upgrade. But you always see the bleeding edge, the very, very latest top-end technology. If you give it a year or 2 years, it will be a fraction of the price. But right now it's the most expensive, because the people who want to have the very latest will pay the extra, and the gains are marginal. It's a little bit better, but you probably wouldn't notice. So I think stay away from that. Technology gets cheaper. So if you wait a little bit, it's going to be a bit cheaper. The market gets saturated as well. And also any item that depreciates quickly, and coming back to cars, brand new cars depreciate very fast. They're about half the price within about 3 years. And the last car I bought, was, it's half the price of what it would be new. And it's still quite a young car. It's got all of the new technology in it. It's lovely. Although if I'd known the pandemic was coming, I wouldn't have bought it, because I would just hire one every couple of months when I need a car, much cheaper. But I have it now. So anyway, and related to that, I think rent and hire what you need when you need it. And, so yeah, bit of a mixture there, but yeah.
Okay. My last money thief, it will be services that deliver food.
Oh, yes.
Because actually people think, okay, it's very convenient. Okay, fantastic. Because I want sushi now. I want ribs, or I want whatever, and it will come to the door. There is one thing that happened that is like a sub effect, that people got fat with that, because several reasons. One is that they are not eating in a convenient way. The other thing is that the best way of somebody to keep in shape is to do their own food and choose their products and everything, and even to go to local groceries and to get the most fresh things. Because when you are going for these services, actually you are not getting a good meal, because I don't believe in a good meal that is coming in a motorbike for 15 minutes. I don't believe that. Okay, so that the idea that the French fries are perfect, no, they are not. We downgrade our taste basically. So, and we pay more. We get fatter, so then we need to go more times to the gym to spend it, because we feel guilty about it. And funny thing, many people also do gym membership, but they never show up. Or one thing, because I did my weight loss thing and I was in gyms, so I would see a lot of people in the treadmill like this. So it's interesting. It's interesting. So basically, it is a way of creating more cost, and then pay for other things like, okay, now I need to have some healthy shakes or detox, or I have to buy that robot to do some juices because it's a detox thing, because I'm eating Uber Eats every day of the week. So on weekends I do detox.
So you pay twice, don't you?
You pay over and over. So it basically, it's like a saving, where, like Sophie was saying, like putting money on the side and put it with a nice interest rate, but on reverse. Yeah. So that's why it's a small money thief, but it goes every single day. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
that.
Thank you all for your reminders.
Yeah, they're good reminders, definitely.
So this is I think that when we normally we think about big financial plans, and the problem is that money flows cent by cent away, and it flows every single day. So guys, thank you very much. These were the 9 ways of saving money, and we will be back. Maybe still this year, we don't know. But if not, we will come next year with strength again. So guys, once again, Peter, Sophie, thank you very much for your sharing. And it's always a delight to talk with you guys. Have fun.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.